Welcome back. Today, we're unpacking a truly fascinating analysis by Ray Inamoto, originally published in Wired. We are exploring the ultimate source of human value now that artificial intelligence is, well, our everyday baseline. If you've been wondering what on earth happens to human creativity when machines can do almost everything efficiently, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get into it.
So, let's just tackle the big question right up front. In an era where AI makes everything completely efficient, where exactly is human creativity heading? It's a question that perfectly captures that low-level existential dread a lot of us are feeling right now. AI is rapidly leveling the playing field. It's making everything faster, cheaper, and insanely efficient. But if a machine can perfectly execute our ideas, what's left for us? Where does true, uniquely human creativity actually fit into a world running on autopilot?
All right, part one, a society where AI is the operational premise. To understand where we're going, we first have to look at the ground we're standing on. We've officially entered a society where AI isn't just a tool, it's the operational premise. Think about the internet or smartphones for a second. Their adoption took time, right? Because they relied on physical constraints, laying cables, building cell towers, manufacturing all that hardware. AI bypassed all of that. It literally just arrived on the devices we already had in our pockets, moving from a quirky novelty to an everyday baseline almost overnight. As Ray Inamoto puts it, dimensions have changed. And he's not just talking about a software update here. He's talking about a fundamental shift in how human brains interface with work. The boundaries between left brain logic, like coding, and right brain creativity, like design, they are completely blurring. You don't have to be a fluent programmer to build software anymore. You really just need to speak human.
And just consider the concrete impact of this speed. Inamoto shares this wild story about his business partner, someone who, by the way, isn't a designer or an engineer. In the past, building a new service prototype meant forming an entire team, a director, a designer, an engineer, and it took at least 3 months. But recently, this partner used an AI tool called Claude Code, and within a few days, working entirely alone, built a functional dashboard prototype that was 80% complete. I mean, one person, a few days. The sheer velocity is absolutely unprecedented.
Which brings us to part two, the trap of homogenization.
Because yeah, there's a massive catch to this incredible speed. When everything is easy to make, everything starts to look exactly the same. Inamoto teaches at a graduate school in the US, and he tracked this evolution over 4 years. Year 1, there was no ChatGPT. Year 2, he explicitly banned it. Year 3, he reversed course and actually encouraged its use. And by year 4, universal adoption. Literally every single student is using AI. Now you think that with the world's most powerful intelligence at their fingertips, the quality of everyone's work would just skyrocket, right? But that's not what happened at all. Universal access did not universally elevate the final product.
Instead, a really clear divide emerged in the classroom. Inamoto noticed 2 distinct groups. First, the lazy AI users. These are the folks who used AI as a shortcut just to get the work done. And their output? Boring, inorganic, and completely homogeneous. It all looked like it came from the exact same machine because, well, it kind of did. Then you have the iterative AI users. They used AI not to skip the work, but to elevate it. They spent their time refining the final details, and their work was uniquely high quality.
And the crucial point here really comes down to a single number, 70. See, AI makes it absolutely effortless for anyone to score a baseline of 70 out of 100 on virtually any task. But here's the paradox of efficiency. When everybody can easily score a 70 is functionally a 0. Merely getting a good score is no longer enough to make anyone pay attention to you. You have to break past that baseline.
This leads us to part 3, the meaning of intentionally leaving friction.
So how do you actually break past that baseline of 70? The answer is totally counterintuitive. Friction. We need to redefine friction not as a flaw, but as the necessary resistance and inefficiency required for genuine human growth, deep understanding, and skill acquisition. In the tech world, we're constantly taught that friction is a bug that needs to be engineered out, right? Smooth out the user journey, make it one click, remove all the barriers. But for human creativity, friction isn't a bug, it's a critical feature. Without struggle, there is absolutely no uniqueness. If we allow AI to bypass all of our cognitive heavy lifting, we literally rob ourselves of the very processes that forge our original thoughts and perspectives.
Consider this deeply personal story from Inamoto. When he was 16, he learned English the analog way, painstakingly drawing lines in this massive paper dictionary. It was grueling, high-friction work, but the retention was permanent. Because of the struggle, the language actually became a part of him.
Today, his 16-year-old daughter does her homework using ChatGPT. It's totally frictionless. The English is perfect, but is the learning actually sticking? When we use AI to instantly jump to the answer, we bypass the cognitive struggle where actual, meaningful human growth takes place.
Moving on to Part 4, the ecosystem of whales and plankton.
If human growth requires friction, how does this actually play out in the broader economy? Well, we're looking at a completely new business ecosystem, and it's basically divided into whales and plankton. The whales are big tech. Think OpenAI, Google. They thrive on massive scale, and their method is essentially swallowing entire industries whole. But because these whales provide such cheap, incredibly powerful AI infrastructure, they create an ocean where the plankton, meaning small businesses and solo creators, can actually thrive. The plankton don't win on scale. They win on scarcity, originality, and highly profitable margins powered by those very AI tools. The middle ground, it's disappearing entirely. You either need to be a massive whale or a highly specialized plankton.
Jacques Marimage, which is a luxury eyewear brand, is the ultimate plankton strategy in action. The digital world used to tell us that scale is everything, reach 1 billion people instantly. But consider this brand, handmade in Japan, extreme scarcity, sometimes only 50 pairs ever made, highly premium prices. In an era of infinite frictionless digital scale, human beings are actually craving the extreme friction of real, handcrafted physical goods.
Which brings us to our final point, Part 5, human unique value lies in why. As AI levels the technical playing field, our unique human value no longer lies in what we make or how we make it. To explain this, Inamoto shares a really beautiful anecdote. His 5-year-old child recently brought home a kindergarten homework assignment. The child had figured out the perfectly correct, logical answer to the question and wrote it down. But when the assignment came back from the teacher, there was a single note written in red pen underneath that correct answer. Just one word, why. The teacher didn't ask, explain how you got this answer mathematically. They asked a completely subjective, philosophical question. Why did you choose this? Why does this matter to you?
And this is the whole point. AI absolutely dominates the what and the how. If you need an objective, instant, logical answer, the machine is going to beat you every single time. But the why? That is entirely the human domain. Why isn't a math equation. It's subjective. It's born from your unique life experiences, your traumas, your joys, and yes, your unique friction. AI can generate a technically perfect image, but only a human can tell you why that image desperately needs to exist in the first place. That drive, that underlying purpose, is the absolute essence of uniquely human creativity.
And that brings us to the core definition of a brand in the AI era. Brand is simply differentiation through trust. When AI ensures that everyone's technical quality is effectively a 70 out of 100 or higher by default, you're no longer competing on technical specs. People are going to choose your product, your art, or your business not because it's technically superior, but because they trust who you are. They connect with your subjective experiences. They trust your why.
As AI continues to optimize our world, smoothing out every little bump and removing all the resistance from our daily work, we have a really profound choice to make. Efficiency is great, for sure, but friction is what makes us human. It is the birthplace of our unique creativity and our deep understanding. So, I'm going to leave you with this. When everything becomes absolutely effortless, what is the unique friction you will intentionally choose to keep in your life? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.